And Formula One returns finally for round 8 of the Rhexa Racing Championship. Welcome back to the circuit of the Americas. We are in Austin for round 8 with just 3 rounds to go. This one and Brazil and Abu Dhabi, the finale. We do not have much time left to finish off this championship. Cadillac sits 76 points behind Red Bull, P2 in the World Constructors' Championship standings. Depending on the result today, Red Bull might be the World Constructors' Championship winners, and we will see by the results of today's race if they will be. The selected slick tire compounds for this race, we have the C4, the C3 and the C1 tires, soft, medium and hard tires, giving more grip for more durability. What will the drivers decide to choose as they begin the race today? In qualifying though, Blitz, of all drivers in the Haas of all cars, set the fastest time overall, the American driver in the American team at the American Grand Prix. He will start alongside championship leader Ethan on the front row, Chris on the second row alongside Davis SRA, Sam P5 and Toprak P6. Thanos will start P7 alongside Izyan. AYM just ahead of Arjun Rao on the grid for P9 and P10. Noshi P11, he will start ahead of Grace Hunter in P12. Jonas P13 ahead of Macron. Harry then Leo and Nguyen. Smokey P17. Nick Turner P18. Francesco starts ahead of Silky. And at the back of the grid, VB Kamal P21 and Nunes Garcia will start last on the grid, P22 for him. But now, let us begin the Grand Prix in Austin. And we are away! Blitz, can he defend into turn 1 against the faster cars behind him? Ethan already alongside Blitz. Can he get ahead? He does get ahead. A virtual safety car further back. Macron, a 5-second penalty on a virtual safety car has been put a full safety car now, and a red flag. A red flag, look at the carnage. Look at the carnage. Jonas, Macron, Harry and Smokey are out the Austin Grand Prix already. And we resume racing. After the red flag, the grid is set. Ethan starts ahead of Blitz because he was ahead at the virtual safety car. This time Blitz chooses the medium compound tire. That is not going to help his start at all, I can tell you that. Ethan gets well ahead of Blitz this time into turn 1, and Ethan comfortably ahead into turn 1. Blitz now P2 chasing Ethan, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure now, and you can already see Toprak swings round the outside of Blitz to get into P2. Blitz looking like he already is struggling on those medium tires to get them into temperature, and not just into temperature, but they're just a slower compound tire. You put the soft tire and the medium tire, you give a driver a fresh set of either, and the soft tire is going to be better every single day of the week. Blitz already dropping multiple positions from P1 on the grid to now P4. He's fighting back though against Davis SRA. Nice move using his battery to get back ahead. Sam though using his battery to go alongside Blitz into at the end of the very long straight there. Sam finally, as you can see, now makes the move on Blitz on those soft tires. Clearly the faster tire as expected compared to the medium compound tire. Sam of course in the faster car as well. That to be expected. That move from Sam, that puts him now into P3 already. Davis SRA looking to also get ahead of Blitz, and Blitz is really struggling here. Down to P5 already, and Chris now gets ahead of Blitz. Can he stay ahead though? Blitz at the moment drops down to P6, but he fights this one, and he's fighting it, but you can see the difference in acceleration on those soft tires compared to the mediums, and Blitz just cannot do much about that. Blitz sits in P6 at the end of lap 1. He's gonna have to fight this one back throughout the race. We are now on lap 5. Blitz still sits in P6 for the moment. Sam decides to come into the pits, perhaps fairly early. Can the undercut work on the leaders? Toprak and Ethan sit quite some distance ahead of Sam. Maybe the undercut could work, but it will definitely hurt Sam later on in this stint, as his tires will wear away faster. And Noshi collides into turn 1 with Sam. That is a clumsy collision from Noshi. Sam was just coming out the pits and Noshi just completely drives into the back of Sam. Looks like both drivers are okay. Both drivers sit on 88 durability, but that is such a clumsy mistake from Noshi, and he receives because of that a 5-second penalty that he will have to serve in his next pit stop or at the end of this race. And with it being so early, it will almost certainly be served in the next pit stop, as Sam looking to make his way through the field. Grace Hunter on old soft tires. Sam breezes past him like light work. Sam clears Grace Hunter pretty comfortably at the end of the back straight there. Grace Hunter can't do much to fight that one. Sam gets back into 10th place as he'll be trying to make some progress through the field as he will fulfill that pit stop. Noshi, what a clumsy mistake that is, to just hamper his race now. 5-second penalty he will have to serve in this race. Ethan now, the race leader, now decides to pit, meaning Toprak takes over the lead of this race. Ethan goes on to the soft tire, as also Davis SRA as well, matching Ethan. So maybe can Davis SRA make a challenge for the lead of this race? Or rather, Davis SRA goes onto the hard tire, coming off the soft tire, he goes onto the hard tire then. Grace Hunter gets ahead of Davis SRA outside the pits, and Davis SRA will continue to make a charge through the field, as did Sam earlier. And look at this now, Chris being hunted down by Sam, who is on much fresher tires. Can Chris put up a defense? He can, but it would not suffice, and he actually barrels into the pits immediately as Sam comes through. It is, as it stands, a Red Bull 1-2 it would be, as Toprak comes out the pits now on fresh soft tires, and Sam gets ahead of Toprak. Can that lead that Sam has built up on Toprak maintain? We will see. It is now lap 8, and it is clearly paying dividend now for Toprak, who is on the heels of Sam and gets ahead of him in a flash. Didn't even take him that long. And Toprak gets ahead of Sam, and he should stay there comfortably now. Look at this little battle here, heating up for 9th place. Silky and Grace Hunter fighting it out for the lower positions in this race. Grace Hunter now gets ahead of Silky. Nice move there. But look at this, Silky, like his battery is just completely dead. Noshi just completely flies past Silky. Nice move round the outside there. Brave move, might I say. But Noshi gets into P10, and that is a nice move from the McLaren driver. Now lap 11, Ethan comes out the pits and trails Sam and Toprak, who are the leaders of this race. Ethan will no doubt make a lot of ground on these fresh tires to catch up to the leaders. And here we are now. Didn't take us that long. It is lap 12 and Ethan is on the heels of his teammate Sam. Sam will be looking to defend this move, but can he do anything about it, realistically speaking? Because the fresher tires are certainly going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting if Ethan can pull off this move, and he can. He gets ahead of his teammate Sam, and he stays ahead. Sam would not be able to fight back that one whatsoever. He will have to concede 3rd place for now to his teammate. Toprak now gets into the pits, and he takes off those old soft tires and puts on a fresh pair of soft tires. He will trail Ethan who already is still in the lead of this race. Sam gets back into P2 with about 7 laps remaining. Toprak will have to make up that ground on Sam, no doubt, to finish ahead of him. At this point, as it stands, it is a Red Bull 1-2. Davis SRE just about comes up behind, or rather Toprak gets ahead of Davis SRE from the pits. Nice timing. Now lap 14, Toprak on the heels of Sam on those fresh, soft tires. Sam's hard tires are not horrible, but they're not good either. And Toprak should make light work of the Red Bull driver. How long will it take for him to get by? Look at the difference in acceleration, and Toprak steams past the Red Bull driver. Easy work for the Mercedes man, and he gets back into P2 of this race. Further back now on lap 15, Noshi trying to take the fight to Francesco in the Racing Bulls. Looks like he has made that move stick. Oh, not so fast on Francesco, defending the inside, but just doesn't have the grip. Noshi flies past again and gets back into P13. Nice move from the McLaren driver. And Silky as well, putting some pressure down the back straight as well. Arjun Rao decides to pit, and he comes on to the soft tire. No doubt this will be his last stop before the end of this race. And he will come out in P16. Sam now, lap 16, decides to get off of these hard tires. Might that be a risk? Might he have just relinquished P3, and might he fall down the order further than P3 at the end of this race? Sam will have to do a fantastic job in cutting through the field. We'll see how he does, but he comes out in P8, and yet again another collision. At the end of turn 1, Liu Nguyen now has a 5-second penalty that he has to serve in this race. So many drivers just making mistakes down to turn 1 with drivers coming out the pits. But anyway, here is Sam as he catches the cars ahead. Thanos on those older hard tires. Sam makes light work of Thanos. Can he even make light work of Chris as well, who sits P5? Might it be a double overtake? And it is for Sam, who gets ahead of Chris. Can Chris fight it back? He tries, but Sam down the inside makes it stick, and Sam makes up 2 positions in just one sector. That is incredible from Sam, and he is making strides back to where that Red Bull belongs, in the top 3. Can he make that position on the Alpine driver of AYM? We know that car is a decent car as well, decent pace in that Alpine, and even that might not matter too much. AYM defends the inside, Sam round the outside. Enough grip that Red Bull has to get round the outside and stay ahead, and Sam gets into P4. Nice moves from the Red Bull man. And we are now on lap 17 of this race, and he is catching swiftly Davis SRE, and he passes him in a flash. Sam up to P3. Lap 18 of the Austin Grand Prix. Leo Nguyen sits P7 and ahead of his teammate Blitz. Don't forget, Leo Nguyen still has to serve a 5-second time penalty, which will either be served in the pit stop or the end of this race. We will see if any team orders are in place here that will allow Blitz to get ahead of Leo Nguyen. No team orders in place. Blitz gets ahead of him on track. P7 for him. We'll see if he can make any strides and cut through the field on these fresher soft tires. Further back, Noshi gets ahead of Leo Nguyen. Leo Nguyen dropping a bit like a stone right now as Noshi clears him quite comfortably. But we are approaching the end of this Grand Prix, and it is looking very comfortable out in front for Ethan to win the Grand Prix in Austin. Blitz, look at that, nice move, gets ahead of Chris and into P6. Can this be a salvage from Blitz, who started on pole position? We know how disappointing it must be to have lost pole position and be nowhere near finishing first place in this race. But Blitz can compensate as he makes a move on Chris to reclaim P6. He could make the move earlier, but now he can, Look at this. AYM cannot do anything to defend that. Blitz up to P5. What a move that is. Noshi as well gets ahead of AYM. And Noshi is up to P6 as well. Can Noshi catch Blitz? Can Blitz catch Davis SRA by the end of this race? We will see. But after everything, it has been settled. Ethan has won multiple Grand Prix this season, but this one might be even sweeter because at a time like this, the World Constructors' Championship has been won by Red Bull Racing. They have won the Constructors' Championship with that win, and Toprak finishes second place. His 10-second penalty that has to be served will not even matter. He will still finish second place because Sam is too far back for that 10-second penalty to hand Sam second place. But with this result and the fastest lap of the race set by Sam just for good measure, Red Bull have won the World Constructors' Championship in spectacular fashion with a double podium, just like old times. At the beginning of this season, they showed so much pace, but look at this battle for P4. 3 cars separated by half a second. Blitz, can he dive down the inside on Davis SRA? It looks like he can. Will Davis SRA have the better grip out of the final corner? Blitz regains P4. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Blitz regains P4 in the final corner. What a salvage that is. What a salvage. It is Blitz, Davis SRA, Noshi, Silky, Arjun Rao, AYM and Chris that rounds off your points finishers. Leo Nguyen with a 5-second penalty doesn't really matter in the end. He finished P11 on the road. But what a finish that is to the Austin Grand Prix. And that is it. Your Grand Prix in Austin has come to an end. Ethan won in spectacular fashion by 4-5 seconds over Toprak. Sam finishes P3, and with that, Red Bull are your World Constructors Champions ahead of Cadillac. They have won it. Blitz, sad for him, from P1, but a fantastic salvage at the end to finish P4 just ahead of Davis SRA in P5, Noshi P6, Silky P7, Arjun Rao in P8, AYM finishes in P9, and Chris rounds off the points in P10. Up next though, our penultimate Grand Prix in Interlagos, Brazil. One of the most exciting tracks on the Formula 1 calendar and a real fan favourite, Interlagos. Stay tuned for that for round 9 of the Rhexa Racing Championship.